Hey, welcome to another broadcast in the Woman Prophecy series. My name is Dion Johnson. I am the author of this book, not Woman Prophecy, Influential Woman. And if you haven't got your copy of this book, now's your chance. I wrote the book because I really believe that boards are the driving force, the engine that drives organizational and industrial outcomes. And therefore, because of the power of what they're driving coming to pass, I believe that boards can change our world, that it really matters who's sitting in that boardroom, who's contributing to that boardroom, who's informing that boardroom and helping that board to make the decisions that it makes, because those decisions can really change lives and touch society and change our world. So it really matters who's in that boardroom. And so my work is really all about supporting board level women in particular to own their authority, to show up in their power, and to express their true voice so that they can lead with much greater influence, and they can convey and communicate their unique and distinct value to the organization and to the mission, and that they can fearlessly dare to make a distinct difference within their realm, within that board, within that sphere of influence, right? So that's my work, and I'm really passionate about that work. And I'm also a woman of faith. So I have faith is at the center of everything that I do. I believe in God. I'm led by the Spirit. I follow and study the teachings of the Bible. My worldview is biblical, and I have my spiritual practice at the center of everything that I do. And so that's how come we're having this series called Woman Prophecy, because I'm a leader, I'm a citizen in the world. I can see that the world is upside down, and I'm a woman of faith. And so I pray about all of this stuff. I seek God, I seek divine wisdom and answers as to, what is that's going on in our world right now. It seems pretty crazy. And when you look at it, and what's going on in the global marketplace, how should the global marketplace be responding to what's happening in the world, and in particular what that means for us as women who are leading in this space, women who have high level of responsibility and leadership and authority. So this is why I'm doing the series, because as I pray and as I study spiritually, and as I seek divine wisdom, things occur to me, messages come, guidance comes, instruction comes, and motivation and inspiration comes. And that's what I want to share with you in this series. I want to share what's occurring to me as I pray and seek answers. I want to pass on to you. And so today is no exception. I have this really exciting message. But first of all, before I get into that, let me just share that I want to speak specifically just for a moment to women who don't have a faith, women who are atheists or have another faith to me, or women who talk to angels or the fairies, or just women who believe in themselves or higher selves, or whatever it is that you believe. If you're different to me, I want to assure you and reassure you that this broadcast is not about converting you or insisting that you believe what I believe. I want you to know that this broadcast is for us as women who lead, full stop. We are diverse. We come from all different backgrounds. We have all different religions. We all have different beliefs and customs and creeds and colors, right? And you are welcome. You are welcome here. I believe that each of us has what programmed in our wiring, the ability to hear what is for us and what is not. We have the ability to tune into what I call truth. We have an ability to know when something is resonating and know when something just isn't. And I encourage you to weigh up what I'm sharing, be open to what I'm sharing, even if I'm different to you. I really believe that it is a time in history, when we never have needed, like we need right now, the ability to create partnerships, create think tanks, create conversations that are multifaceted and diverse. And I'm encouraging you to treat this like that, that we may be different, but we care about our world, we care about the problems, we want to be part of the solution. So deal, weigh up what I'm saying, take what's for you and leave what's not, but give me the grace to speak authentically from my worldview in my unique way, which is biblical, right? So with that out of the way, I want to share with you that today's broadcast was inspired by a dream that I had in August. Now I have dreams all the time. Like, it's one of the critical ways that I receive divine guidance, that I have things confirmed, things challenged, things explained, things elevated, new perspectives come to me through my dreams. And so I want to share with you this dream that I had in August, right? So I was walking along a road with a man. I'm not sure if it was an actual physical manifestation of a man, but I knew that I could feel his presence, and I knew that it was a man, and I think it was either God or an angel walking alongside me as I journeyed along the road. And as we walked, we came to a desk, right? We came to this desk, and it had an application form on the desk, and it had a pen. And this man explained to me that he wanted me to go and apply for the role. Well, I was a little bit reluctant to apply. I was a little bit I just didn't want to. I wanted to just not apply. I hate job applications. I haven't written a CV for years. It just felt like a big job that I wasn't really interested in going through. But this man really was quite insistent that this was the right thing for me to do. And so I approached the desk, and I sat down, picked the pen up, and began to go through the process of filling in this application form. What I noticed was that it was a massive, great big volume of the book. Like, it looked like an encyclopedia. This was no flimsy application. This was a real big deal, right? So I opened up the book and began to fill in my name and stuff to apply for this job. And as I was filling it in, what I noticed was that somehow it was already filled in. So I was filling it in, but it was already filled in. And I can't explain it any other way than that. But it really was already done. It was already done. And I looked to this man and said, what's going on here? And he had a kind of smile on his face, as though he was waiting for me to catch the revelation that this thing had already been done. And he said, the job's already yours. But all you need to do is it's almost like a trick, like you think that you're going to have to go through this whole process to get this job, but actually you need to know that it's already done. The job is yours, that the form's already filled in, but your part is that you need to approach it, like genuinely go for it. You have to genuinely walk up to this thing and decide that you're going to go for it. You have to be willing. You have to go through the process. You have to put yourself to work on the process, right? And so I found all this really fascinating. So all of a sudden, doing this application didn't seem so daunting. It was already done. It was a fixed fight. Like, I was going to win. Like, I was going to get the job, and it was already, the process, the way had already been made for me to have this job. And then I realized I don't know what job I'm applying for. So I turned to him and said, what job am I applying for? And he said, mothers, wives, queens. Mothers, wives, and queens. Mothers, wives, and queens. He saw me looking puzzled, and he began to explain that He's not talking about the kind of mother that is in the home that puts baby to bed or puts a plaster on the boo-boo when they fall and scrape their knee. Not that kind of mother. Mother of industry. Mothers of industry. And he explained that these mothers of industry were women who were going to birth out a whole new generation of leader, a whole new level, a whole new type of leader, a new breed of leadership, that these women, these mothers in industry, were going to nurture the potential of a new generation of leaders with new capacities to lead in new ways. These mothers were going to see to it that culturally things were shipshape. Culturally, things were moral and just and right and fair. They were going to raise conscientious leaders. They were going to birth out a new level of righteous, for want of a better word, leadership. These women were pivotal in the nurturing of a new generation, or with new capacities and new ability to lead in the right way. I was fascinated. He went on to explain that wives, he wasn't talking about wives in the home, he was talking about wives of industry. And these women were going to be strategic partners in industry who would have responsibility for managing the status quo. They were there to manage well and create culture and see that things were done in the right way. These were overseers of operations. These were women who were married in the marketplace system. They were covenanted. They were in agreement with the marketplace systems, and that they would be responsible. They will have oversight for the operations, the right operation, the right culture shaping, the right building. They would see to it that things were done correctly. They would see to it that things were shipshape. So these wives of industry. And when he went on to talk about the queens, he spoke to me about these were not just queens like the world has. Like, you know, the other day I was watching a program of mine. I love Celebrity MasterChef. And there was a drag queen, I've never seen him before or her before, but she's quite a celebrity, and she kept addressing to herself as a queen. She kept calling herself a queen. And then there was this other girl who was a reality TV celebrity. So she'd been on a program called Love Island, a very popular reality TV show, and that was her claim to fame. So that's why she was on the Celebrity MasterChef, and she kept calling herself a queen. And there was a conversation between her and John and Greg, the hosts of Celebrity MasterChef. They said, "Why do you call yourself a queen?" And she said, "Because everyone's a queen." She said, "Every woman should be called a queen." But here's the thing: queen is a designation. Queen is a real position of standing, royalty, responsibility, ruling and reigning. Queen is not just a title that anybody can handle. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I remember when I was going to become a grandmother, and I was really praying about becoming a grandmother, you know, just asking God for guidance on how to be a grandmother. And one of the things that the still small voice on the inside of me spoke to my heart was that princesses are born, but queens are raised. Queens are raised and appointed and ordained. This is not just a common position that everybody gets to play. There's responsibility, and there's a real it's a role of true responsibility. It's a rank, and so it's not open to everybody. And so I really begin to hear in this dream that that these mothers, wives, and queens already got the job, already has the job. And the message that came from this dream after I spent some time thinking about it and praying about it was, God is hiring. God is hiring. And that word hiring is a play on the word, like, recruiting, but it's also HIGHERING. He's hiring. He's accelerating and ascending women in leadership. We are being called to ascend to a whole new higher level of influence and impact in the marketplace. Ooh, that's the word, that God is hiring and you are being invited to apply for the role. Mothers, wives, queens. So as I've been thinking about this, I realize that we as women in leadership, contemporary leadership, at such a time as this, are being called to reclaim our womanly roles. The job is ours, and it's an important role. What I've realized is that that womanity, feminine leadership, women are an essential element in the success of anything, in the success of marketplace missions, in the success of any project, any vision, any mission, any assignment. That yes, we need the masculine and the leadership of men, but we also need the feminine and the leadership of women. We need both. We need both. I heard of a prophecy, a Cherokee prophecy, an old Cherokee prophecy that was speaking about this time in history, that's prophesying about this time in history. And it says that the humanity is like a bird trying to advance. A bird flying in the sky, trying to advance, trying to move forward. But the problem was that this bird was only flying with one wing. This bird was flying with the one wing called the masculine. And so this masculine wing was having to flap really, really vigorously because the other wing was not extended yet. So this masculine wing was getting worn out, and this bird, instead of advancing, because it was only flying on one wing and it was unbalanced, it was just going round and round in circles. That humanity was going round and round in circles because of the masculine wing overworking and not being balanced out with the other wing, which is the feminine. But the prophecy said that now is a time for the feminine wing to be extended and for there to be balance between the masculine and the feminine. That the feminine was the womanly leadership is critical for the advancement of mankind, for the advancement of humanity, for the advancement of the planet Earth, right? And so I believe that what the dream is telling us is that we are being called to apply again for the role, that we should see that who we are and the calling on our lives and the mission that we have as women is an important one. That it's time for us to reclaim our solemn, sacred identities. That we should understand that we are a critical element. There's so much confusion right now about what it means to be a woman. There's so much in this cancel culture. It's almost sacrilegious to talk about male and female, women and men. It's almost like we want to pretend that there's no such thing, that we're all one, we're all the same. But there is a difference between the masculine and the feminine, and I believe that women are stewards of feminine leadership. Is that we're all called to lead with masculine, we're all called to lead with feminine, but that women are the stewards and the teachers of feminine, womanly leadership. And so I believe that this dream is saying to us that it's time for us to reclaim those womanly roles and see that there's more than one way to express them. Expressing them in the homemaking and baby making and mothering and leading in the home is one aspect. But I'm bringing your attention to the need for that feminine, womanly, womanity leadership in the marketplace too. What do you think about that? Can you see that? If you see that, it's time to reclaim your part in that you are an essential element of success in either the organization or the industry, because you are a woman, because you are wired for womanly leadership as a mother, a wife, or queen. The other thing that I see as I think about this dream and really decipher it and unlock its meaning to me is that we are being invited to walk. Remember, in the dream, I was walking along the path, my path, with this man. And I think that that is a really powerful symbol of you really being called, if you want to answer this call, to occupy your space with this next level of authenticity as a woman and a leader and a change maker, that you have to prepare by walking out your path, by going day by day with the intention that you are going to become the woman that you will that you are going to walk out. You're going to be intentional about walking out your leadership journey. And what I see from a result of my dream is that you will, if you continue to walk intentionally on your path, on your leadership journey, you will come to the application form, you will come to the opportunity, you will come to the desk or the door that wants to open up to take you to this other level. That you'll meet up upon the opportunity or the doorway or the invitation or the need, the need, you will come to this place of invitation. You will see the application form, you will see the door open, you will see the call, you will hear the call, you will see it, and it will make sense to you what it is that you have to do or how it is that you have to approach it. But you have to decide that you're going to walk intentionally if you want to assume and occupy this role that's already been given to you. And the third thing that you have to do is you have to own your authority. You have to know that you are authorized. That in the dream, the man told me really clearly, you've already been called to do this. It's already yours. It's fixed. It's not that you might look like you're applying, but actually the idea that you will be the one to fill this role was not your idea. It was already decided. It's already done. The job's already yours. So it's about realizing that we're authorized to take up our position in this way. We're authorized, we're called and authorized and chosen to take up our role in this way. Will you be able to do that? Will you be able to own that authority? Know that, that I know a lot of us are suffering with imposter syndrome, wondering if we're qualified, wondering if we're good enough for the job, wondering if we've got what it takes. But there's this old saying that we talk about in church sometimes, that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. That we know who you are. We know that you're not perfect. We know that you've got learning to do. We know that you don't know all the answers. We know that you don't always have all your ducks in a row, but you're authorized. But you're authorized to walk in this authority. You're authorized to take up this role. So own your authority. And then the fourth thing that you should be doing right now is preparing. This is about igniting your leadership journey. This is about investing in your growth and immersing yourself in the evolutionary experience, in the transformation experience, in the growth experience as a leader and as a woman, as a change maker. It means deciding that you're going to give yourself what you need to grow and be ready for when you come up against that application form, to grow and be ready to seize the opportunity that presents itself to you, to show up in this higher level of authority as a wife or a mother or a queen. Preparation is key. You know, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about in my church, there is this program called Before You Say I Do. Before You Say I Do, and it is for married people who are thinking about getting married. And what it really is preparation. It's preparing couples for the hardship of marriage. It's preparing men and women to be wives and husbands, right? Because preparation is really critical. And some of you will know that I was a midwife in many moons ago, and I was really responsible for helping women to get ready for motherhood, because preparation is key. So they went to antenatal classes, they went to parenting classes, they created mothers groups where they would share wisdom, because preparation and practice and planning is key to fulfill your role as mother well, right? And the same thing goes with being a queen. That, you know, queens are not born, they're raised, they're prepared. So being a princess, I know what we've done with the term princess. We've made it mean that you're kind of like a bit spoiled brat, you're a bit of a diva. But actually, if you think about it, princess is a preparation period for when it's your time to sit on the throne, right? Preparation is key. And so this prophecy is an invitation for you to see that you are being called to express your womanity in the marketplace in higher, more potent, more sacred ways, and that you need to, one, reclaim that identity as a woman, that how powerful you are as a woman, and then two is walk your path intentionally, that intending to become her, and then three is about owning your authority, and then four is about preparation. Preparation is key. But God is hiring mothers, wives, and queens to take up their place in industry and lead in this post-pandemic period in unusual, uncommon, and unexplored ways. Largely, we don't really know what this looks like going forward, but I'm excited about what it will mean to you, how it will manifest in your leadership, and how it will the impact that it will have, the influence and the impact that it will have in the results and the outcomes that you are part of leading. So that's it, that's the word. And I know that there are some of you who are saying, yeah, you want to go deeper with this, you want to go and do your own biblical studies around this. Like some of you will just will want to be praying about this, some of you will be, I suggest that you really make a decision that you're going to go for it. Make a decision that you're going to intentionally, willingly move towards becoming the kind of woman that can lead in this way. And for those of you that want scripture, I'm just getting my notes up because there are a couple of scripture references that I want to share with you. Isaiah 45 verse 2-4. I love this scripture, and it really is key to all of the work that I do. It says that I will go before you. This is God speaking in the scriptures. I will go before you and I will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, and that the God of Israel, who summons you by name for the sake of Jacob, my servant, of Israel, my chosen. I have summoned you by name. I have called you by name and bestow on you a title of honor, even if you do not acknowledge me. I love that scripture. And really, it's saying that he's going to make the way for you to fulfill this role if you say yes. And then the other scripture that I want to leave with you is Esther chapter 5, verse 1-3. It says, on the third day, Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the palace in front of the king's hall. The king was sitting on his royal throne in the hall facing the entrance when he saw the queen Esther standing in the court. He was pleased with her and held out to her the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther approached and touched the tip of the scepter, and then the king asked, "What is it, Queen? What is it, Queen Esther? What is your request? Even up to half the kingdom, it will be given to you." So I love that. It's saying that, you'll find favor when you have this role. You'll find favor with the king. And I'm going to do another separate teaching on Esther. There's so much I want to say about that, but we'll leave that for another time. The other scripture reference is Judges chapter 5, verse 6-8, and it says, "In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were abandoned and travelers took the winding paths. Villagers in Israel would not fight. They held back until I, Deborah, arose, a mother in Israel." This is such a powerful scripture, but really what it's a song. It's a song, and it's Deborah's song. And Deborah was a judge in Israel at a time when there was no king, and so she was like the queen of Israel. And she said, she was describing how the young kings and the young leaders were experiencing great oppression and were not able to use their voice. They were not able to fight. They were not able to go up against the enemy until she rose up as mother. She was a judge. She was really the authority in the land. But it wasn't until she rose up and accepted the call as mother that Israel found new vigor in its leadership. I'm really excited about this dream. I'm really excited about this message, and I'm really inviting you to think about the calling that we have as women to show up in a new way as mothers, wives, and queens of industry. I'd love to know how this is landing for you. I'd love to know what you're hearing as you listen to this. I know it's been quite a lengthy message. I'm not sure how long I've been talking, but I believe that if we answer this call to show up in this new way, that heaven has backed us. And that there is going to be power that comes for us to do amazing things, to do I was speaking to somebody just this morning who told me that it was her impression that we were being called to create seismic shifts. When she told me that, it really blessed me, because I believe that's what's available when we step into what we're being called into as women who lead at such a time as this. Hit reply. Let me know what's occurring to you as you listen to this. Let me know how it's landing. Let me know what you hear. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's keep talking. But this is Woman Prophecies for October 2022, and I'm excited about this time and this season. My name is Dion Johnson, and I am here. If you want me, email me, connect@dionjohnson.com, and let's keep talking. Until next time. See you later.